Well, folks, if you saw my Billy Coral's classic show on Rockin' Waves 11/2/94 last night, you may have noticed I had to end the show early. Well, as I mentioned on my show, I was having some very serious CPU problems. Adobe Flash Media Encoder was using up all of my CPU power. It was running at 100%. And Minicam wasn't helping things either, so it was pretty much bogging the entire system down. But here's the problem. It was not doing this last week on my show last week. So obviously I started thinking, okay, something's awry here. And I started doing a little bit of looking, and I noticed that the task manager was showing only one CPU core. Now keep in mind that I use an Intel Core i5 on my computer, which is obviously a quad-core processor, but it was only seeing one core, and the speed was reflecting that, unfortunately. And so I about tore my head off trying to figure out what was going on. I booted into this Linux Mint DVD, and it was seeing all four cores, as well as the BIOS of the actual computer. It was saying everything was normal, but Windows 7, on the other hand, was only seeing one core. So thanks to a friend of mine, I started looking into this. I went under the msconfig utility, and I noticed that the other day I was tinkering with some settings there, and all of a sudden I must have changed number of CPU cores from 4 to 1. Well, obviously I made a few other little adjustments, and well, let's just watch. Turn the monitor on. Okay, and here we go. By the way, this is coming to you via Samsung Galaxy S3. Okay, that's the first sign something's not right. It's going to run startup repair. Now, Windows is loading, but I changed the setting in it for no GUI boot, so you don't see the Windows logo during startup. But any time now, you should see a very unpleasant sight among most computer users. And there we go. A good old-fashioned blue screen of death. Bad system config info. And there's the error code. And there's no way to fix this, folks. I did run startup repair. Could not fix it. Booted into safe mode. Still got a blue screen of death. And I booted into the repair utility to do a system restore, and well, the system restore was successful. I went back to about a week ago, but I was still getting the blue screen of death at startup. And according to startup repair, somehow, due to my modifications to the system configuration utility, the entire Windows 7 registry has become corrupt. Meaning there is now no hope for this Windows installation that I put on here way back in February. Meaning that tomorrow, I would have done it today, but I've been out of town most of the day, I'm going to have to do one of my least favorite things to do on my main computer, and that is reformat and reinstall Windows. Oh, gosh. So, consider this video a little lesson for you folks. When you go making modifications to the way Windows boots up and works and such, please be careful. The reason I made these modifications in the first place the other day was I was hoping to improve my startup performance during Windows boot up, and well, it actually just made it worse. And in fact, while trying to put things back the way it was, I pretty much killed Windows. So tomorrow I'm going to have to do a complete reformat and reinstall Windows. Now, the good news is that I have all my documents, all my data, all that good stuff backed up, saved on a separate hard drive. You see, I have a 250 gigabyte drive I use for the Windows installation, and I have a separate 500 gigabyte hard drive where I put all my data, which includes documents, music, videos, pictures, all that stuff. And so when I reformat, I will not have to back any of that up or reload everything. It'll all be there once I reinstall Windows. And by the way, folks, good piece of advice is, you know, if you have the ability to do this, just put Windows on either a separate hard drive or a separate partition, and put all your files on a separate partition. That way, if something happens like what happened to me last night, you can be safely assured that all your files are going to be safe and sound once you reformat and reinstall Windows. So just a little bit of advice there. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to have to reformat. Oh well, I'll learn from this mistake. So I just thought I'd make this quick video to tell you guys what is going on here. So this is Billy Corrs signing off on September the 11th of 2013. Goodbye.